Hi, everyone. Today, I want to talk about some of the stories of things that have happened to me, supernatural stories. These are all real, I'm not faking them, and I share them with everyone, and I want to share them with you today. So, I think I told you about this story. I did. I told you about this story on my first video of how me and my attorney friend saw the woman going into the elevator, and when we went in the elevator behind her, she wasn't there. Yeah, so it's stories like that trip me out. Okay, like, all right, this is why I believe in the spirit world and I believe in the afterlife. Okay, so when I lived in Las Vegas, um, I was home one day and I had teenage daughters, and one of their friends came over and said he got in trouble in school, so he just wanted to hang out at the house. I was like, okay, whatever. And I remember we were in the first living room, and I was laying down on the futon. I was on my phone, and he was sitting in a like one of those lazy chairs that kind of swing back, and he was on his phone. So we were both on our phones, and it was really quiet. And I saw this kid run from my kitchen to the garage in front of the stairways. So it's like a tiny little hall there. But I just saw him run. It was a tall, young kid with a red shirt on, and he had a bowl haircut. You know, like you put a bowl on top of somebody's head and just that bowl haircut all the way around. And I remember I literally did this. I was like, you know, tap, 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 tap. And then I was like, I looked up. And the first thing I did was look at him. And as soon as I looked at him, he had his mouth open, like, and he was looking at me. I'm like, did you see that? And he was like, yeah. And that was a kid. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, he was running. Like, he literally ran, and his hair was all bouncy, and he was wearing a red shirt. He saw the same exact thing I saw. And that kid never wanted to come to my house again. He was freaked out. He's like, you freaked me out. You and your spirit stuff, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't ask them to come over. So, anyway. But here, check this one out, okay? That's just a little sample of a story. But when my mother was dying of cancer, I found out my mother was dying of cancer, pancreatic cancer. I decided to bring her to come stay with me. I had a lot of reasons why I did that. But one of the main reasons is because I thought it would be an honor to take care of my mother on her last days. I didn't really know how long she would take to die, but I knew she was dying. And my mom was the kind of woman that was always looking for something, like always looking for truth. She was a church hopper like me. And I talked to her about The Spirit's Book by Allan Kardec. And I've shown you that book in my first video. And I talked to you about it in a lot of detail about what that book is about. So I gave it to her before we found out she had cancer. She was living in Florida. And I gave her that book because she just kept telling me she didn't know what was real, what wasn't real. And she kept going to different churches. And she became a member of the Mormon Church, which was the closest she could find to being totally satisfied and happy at a church. And it was the same thing with me. The only situation we had was their services are 4 hours long. That's a lot of time, dude, to be in a church. So that was our only issue. But other than that, she loved doing the 4 hours and the volunteer work and all that stuff. So, but she still felt like there was something missing. So I gave her the Spirit's book. I gave her a copy of the Spirit's book, and she would read it. And me and my mom, we didn't have a very good relationship most of my life. And with that book, I felt like I got closer to her. She would call me every day, and she'd be like, oh, I'm reading this part. And I always carried a copy with me because I had to read it like 2 or 3 times because I fell in love with it. And she would call me and we would start having conversations about, oh, this says this and this says that. What do they mean? And this is that. And it just brought us closer. So I really wanted her to be with me in her end of life. And we were sitting down talking one day, and I was like, Mom, Mommy, I need you to tell me if the spirit book is real somehow after you go. And she just looked at me like, oh, how am I supposed to do that? I'm like, well, if it's real, you'll be able to tell me because there's going to be a way. And she was like, well, what would you like me to do? And I said, I don't know, move things around, misplace things, drive me nuts. I don't care how you do it. Just somehow I know you will find the way to let me know that that is a spirit book. And she was, okay, mija, because she calls me Mara. Okay, mija, I will figure it out. And if it's real, I'll let you know. I said, okay. So then she passed away. And from the moment she passed away, they say, and here I'm getting off topic again, but just a little FYI. They say when a person dies, their spirit goes into a state of confusion. So it's kind of like having anesthesia when you are going in and out of surgery. Because our Father, our Creator, God, who, whatever you want to call him, I call him my Father, my Creator. He doesn't want us to go through such a culture shock and just rip us out of bodies and then just throw us in bodies and all that stuff. So they say that there is a state of confusion. Like, for instance, when a woman gets pregnant, there is a designated spirit for that baby. And there's this thing. I like the book because it even talks to you about some science. And they said there is this, I don't know, something called the perispirit. And it's like it serves as a glue to the spirit and the envelope. It talks to you more about what that is. Kind of gives you the science of it all. But it tells you that is what bonds the spirit to the body. So, and they also say that no two spirits can be in one body. So the spirit is never inside the mother. It's just attached to the mother. So, so when the baby is born, so as the pregnancy goes, that spirit goes deeper and deeper and deeper into a state of confusion. And then once you're in labor and the baby comes out and it takes its first breath of air and starts screaming, that's where the cry comes from, is the spirit kind of freaks out, even though it's a state of confusion, kind of freaks out because they say that your spirit is so free. It's like being put in a tiny little cell. And although you're not trapped inside the body, you're in the body and you radiate outside the body, you're still like stuck to it. So you're condemned. That's how it's like. So it is that way in death too. They say when you start dying and your organs are dying, that perispirit starts to diminish. And you start slowly going back into the spirit world. And although once you're in the spirit world, you're still in a state of shock for a while, depending on how attached you are to the world. Your family members and your friends. You ever notice that older people, I shouldn't say old people, but older people, they start getting really confused when they're in their last days and they start talking to things that aren't there, to people that aren't there. And they start seeing family members that died many years ago. And in the spirit book, it says the reason they do that is because the spirit starts coming to get you. It starts trying to get you adjusted to their realm, I should say. I can't find the word I was looking for, but yes. So, my mom, I asked her when she was totally not confused. She was totally awake and she was fine. I asked her about a month before she left. And then she started going through the same thing. She started going into a state of confusion. She saw our abuelita Rafaela, which is Grandma Raffaella. Grandma Raffaella was my great great grandma. I remember her. We always have 5 generations alive for some reason. And she started going through it. Everything the book said, I saw her going through. And she passed away. When she passed away, I started talking to her spirit. And I said, even in the funeral, because the book says that when you attend your own funeral, and when everybody's there, you're almost trying to talk to everyone. And you're confronting people, and they're not answering you, and it confuses you even more because you're totally being ignored. But you can attend your own. They say most, in the book it says, most people attend their own funeral and they don't even know what the hell's going on. Okay? It's kind of jacked up, but that's kind of creepy. But after that, you get out of your state of confusion and then you move on. So I would talk to my mom in her state of confusion to see, make sure she knew what was going on. I was like, Mom, you're gone. Don't freak out because your body's in the morgue. She was in the morgue for like a month in the fridge because we were trying to get the money together. And it was just, it was kind of scary for her. So I just talked to her and talked to her and talked to her. And then I don't know, there came a point where I was just like, I know you can't be in the state of confusion no more. So I would talk to her normally. Like 2 months after she died, one of my sons were at my house doing laundry. And he shook a pair of pants. And a diamond earring fell out. And that diamond earring was important to me because it was my sister Terry's diamond earring. And she had pawned it for some medication my mother needed, along with other gold. And I worked my ass off to make sure all that gold was out. And I sent her the gold she wanted, and she told me I can have the rest. I was like, okay, that's fine. And then one of the earrings fell out of those pants. So I was highly upset. And I picked it up, and I'm like, who the hell and what the hell? Why is this earring here? So I went to my room and checked my jewelry box, and sure enough, my son took the earrings without permission and started, thinking he was blinging. So I said, okay. I said, all right, I need the other freaking earring, or, everybody's going to have to, hell's going to break loose. I need the other earring. I started freaking out because that earring meant a lot to me. And they started looking for it, blah, blah, blah. I just locked myself in the room and I was pissed. Saturday came around. No, that was Saturday night. Sunday came around. And me and my husband, we do our stuff on Sundays. Like our laundry and shopping and all that good stuff. So we took off. We always locked our door, double locked our door. We had a padlock on it so nobody can get in. And we were gone all day. And then in the afternoon, we came home. In the late afternoon, we came home. And I put my clothes in the dryer and I started folding my clothes. My husband just went into the room and he laid down and started watching TV. And he never got up from there. I think an hour went by and I was still washing and drying and folding. And as I was folding, I was putting everything on the bed. And my sons come home and they're like, Mom, tomorrow's the first day of school and we have no new shoes, blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay. Let me get you my debit card. I got to finish my laundry and I don't want to. Sorry, I'm all stretchy. I said I don't want to, I don't want to go out. I didn't want to go out. They were old enough to go. So I went in the room and I started looking for that debit card. I couldn't find it in my purse. I pulled out the spirits book. And sometimes I just throw it in my purse. So I went like this and I flipped through all the pages. Nothing was there because it's a soft cover. Nothing was there. I shook it. Nothing was there. And I started digging and digging. And then I remembered where I had put it. And I put the book on the bed. I put it on the bed. And I put my purse on top of it. And I did that because the front cover was kind of curled up. And that annoys the shit out of me. So I was hoping it would flatten it out a little bit. And I went and got the debit card and gave it to them. I continued doing laundry. I started dinner. I started doing my stuff. They were back within a half an hour. And they gave me back my card. I was done with my laundry, so I started putting the laundry away. Putting the laundry away, putting the laundry away. My husband was laying on one side, and the laundry was by the foot of the bed, and on my side was the book and the purse. And then I put all the clothes away, and dinner was already cooked. I was just going to chill for a while and watch TV with my husband. I wasn't hungry. So I picked up the purse, and of course I looked at the book, and the thing was still curved up, the front soft cover, and it just kind of bounced up like with the wind or whatever. When it did that, when I picked up the purse and it did that, I was like, what the hell is that in my book? So I opened the cover. Tell me why the earring was right there on the cover. And inside the cover. The earring was there inside the cover. And I couldn't believe it. And I ran out of my room. I ran to the boys and I was like, did you guys ever find my mom's earring? And they were like, no. And the one that actually lost it got up and in a panic and was like, I'm going to look for it right now. I'm going to look for it right now. And he started looking for it. I'm like, no. I said, don't worry about it. I said, that's not why I'm asking. I'm asking you because I just found it inside my spirit book. So, with that being said, I went and ran to where the other earring was, the one that we had found before that. And, oh, bye, love you. Wait, I feel like I had something to tell you. Hold on one second, pause. I feel like I had something to tell you. I have no idea. So that's all of Juan's money?
Yeah, mine's $5. I own $5.
What about my money?
I had to pay
I can't believe.
I had to pay my rent.
That's what I was going to ask you. If you were going to stay living here, okay, got it. All right, but love you. I'll give him the 5. Have a good day. Say hi. This is my son, guys. Actually, this is the one that lost the earring. This is the one. Oh, what a coincidence.
No.
Get out of here. It was him.
No.
Anyway, so I went back in there where the earring was, and love you too, where the earring was, and I found the one that was there that I put there the day before. So I'm like tripping, and I'm like, that's my mom. I told her before she died to tell me if the spirit book was real. And she asked me, how do you want me to do that? I said, I don't know. You will figure out. Move things around. But you will find out. And she did. She figured it out. And to me, that is exactly what she did. She let me know that the spirit book was real. And if that's not a good testimony for that, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you. But yes, that's how my mommy told me that the spirit book was real. And since then, so many things have happened to me with my mom. It's so amazing. Once you really get in touch with the spirit world, man, you can ask them anything and they will come. They will come. You just gotta know that it's true. You know, I know I sound like a church, but I mean, I'm not saying you have to go to church. I'm not saying you have to believe in a certain religion. I'm not saying any of that. You don't want to, don't. You want to, go ahead. It doesn't matter. Spiritism is about you in your spirit realm and working that connection to help you so that you can help others, you know? It's kind of like being a witch. It is like being a witch, except you're not really a witch. I don't know if that makes sense. You're not a bad witch for sure. Or if you're a man, wizard, I guess. But yeah, that's the story with my mama. And it's pretty amazing. Another thing was me and my sister. I had this dream with my mom. It was a crazy dream. We were like in a church. It wasn't even a church. It was like a hall. Or maybe it was a church. I don't know. I've never seen the place before. But it had an altar and there was a bunch of chairs. And my mom was sitting there wearing this a purple flowery shirt that she always wears. She used to always wear that. And I don't even remember what the dream was about, but I called my sister when I woke up and I was like, Maria, I had a dream with mom. She goes, so did I. I was like, really? She was like, yeah. And then she started telling me what her dream was about. It was a different dream. But she said, I really miss her. And it was so real, Anna. And I said, why? She was like, because she was wearing her purple flower shirt. I was like, you're lying. She was wearing the purple flower shirt in my dream as well. And the spirit book says that when we go to sleep, our bodies do not detach from us, but they do expand. And I think I talk about that in one of my videos. And we go into the spirit world because our body doesn't have to rest. Our body has to, our body has to rest. Our spirit doesn't have to rest. Our bodies have to rest. So our spirit is, we're energy, believe it or not, and we expand from our bodies, although we're still attached to them, and we interact with our family members. And because our organic brain is not with that part of the spirit, it doesn't remember what we did, what we talked about, none of that. It's crazy, but it does distort things with memories and stuff like that. So I'm thinking me and my sister, we're probably sleeping, visiting with my mom at the same time. I just think that's pretty amazing. Either that or my mom went to visit her first and then came to visit me. We're 3 hours apart, so I think that's exactly what happened. And she came to us dressed in what we know her to be dressed in, you know? So that's pretty awesome. Also, you can ask for things. If you don't get them, don't think that they don't love you or they're not listening. It's just, it's not meant to be. There's something better out there. And I learned that, you know, I cried. It was something I really, really wanted, and I didn't get it, and I cried, and it was because I had something better coming. And now I am living that life. So, yeah. I mean, I don't want to bore you with a bunch of stuff, but yeah. So I wanted to share that story with you. Just a little bit about how the spirit world and us, we connect. And we can actually interact, you know. Like suppose one of your parents are passed away. I promise you, talk to them. Talk to them and ask them things and talk to them. Acknowledge them. Acknowledge them. Someone else you should acknowledge is your guardian spirit. Do you know that when we are born, we are assigned a guardian spirit to us? We are here to better ourselves, to purify our souls. We are here to learn lessons through tears, through happiness, through boredom, being busy, working hard, sweating, family members. We are here to learn, to better ourselves through all these things. And God gives us the tools that we need to learn that lesson. So I think I talked about, like the poor, the homeless people. Let's talk about the homeless one more time. The homeless people, they're out there talking to themselves like they're crazy and they're homeless and they're cold and they're hungry. And, why? Why would God do that? Why? Why? Because they wanted to learn a lesson. Maybe they were from the court of a big, great, beautiful kingdom. And, anytime somebody hungry came at them, they'd be like, ew, don't touch me. That's disgusting. Go away, you peasant. I'm not giving you my whatever, blah, 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 blah. And he was a jerk. And then he died and he was like, I can't believe I was such a jerk. These poor kids, they were hungry and they starved. Look what happened to that family. I could have helped them. And he regretted it. So he said, bring me back as home. I want to know what that's like. That way I'll never do that again in my next existence. And he comes back and, he's born into a nice family or maybe a terrible family, doesn't matter. And all of a sudden, poof, paranoid schizophrenia. Nobody knows why he got it, but poof, paranoid schizophrenia. And now he becomes homeless and paranoid schizophrenic. That happens. And it's not for, because God favors other people or, no, it's not that. We're all here to learn our lessons, Somebody's born because of Agent Orange with no arms and no legs, Well, maybe he was, some kind of general in some great, army of a great kingdom, and he used to go around slicing people's parts off, you know? And he wanted to come back with no limbs or with a messed up limb or something, you know? It's just the way it is. Or people that are born with no noses. Maybe that was, you know, that religion, not going to mention any names, but that one religion to where they cut their wives' nose off if they think for a minute that they're cheating on them or doing something bad. So maybe they died and was like, I can't believe I did that to her. I want to be born without a nose. There's children and that are born like that without noses and deformities, you know, and it's only because they chose to be that way. They chose to come that way because they want to learn a lesson. They want to know what that is like. You know, maybe they come back as a girl and she ends up with a husband that's chopping noses off. So, you know, everything is for the greater good. I'm done for today. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment underneath and tell me what questions you have about the universe. I can do my best and answer that for you. Other than that, please, 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 I beg of you, look, because I'm holding the phone in my other hand, so I can't do the prayer thing. So I'm going to go like this. So it's very dramatic. Please, please subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. I'm trying to get 1,000 followers. That would be amazing if you can do that for me. Okay? Other than that, I love you guys. Thanks for listening. I hope you got something out of it. If you didn't, like I said, let me know what you want to know. And I will do my best to answer that question for you and make it make sense. Okay? This is my way of giving you fruit from my tree. And you can go to the website. I have my website. It's fruitfromthetree.com. And there's a lot of stuff there about animal souls, about dreaming, lucid dreaming. If you're interested in lucid dreaming, we can totally get into lucid dreaming. If you want to get into, like I said, animal souls, if you wanted to get into the subject on why people are born gay, because you're born gay, you don't become gay, okay? You're born gay. It's something that you're born with. What else is in there? Oh, just why children are bad, bad, bad kids sometimes. And what we as parents can do. And, I mean, there's so many topics online. You can just go look at them. It talks to you about what Spiritism is. So, anyways, I love you guys. Have a great, great day. Have a great Labor Day weekend. If you're in Reno, have fun in Rib Fest. If you are somewhere else, have fun with whatever fest that they're doing over there. But, yeah, I love you guys. Namaste and many blessings to you. And have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.